Next, NASA says its Voyager 1 probe, the most distant human-made object in the universe, is sending usable information to Earth again after months of spouting gibberish. 14 billion miles from Earth drifts humanity's farthest messenger, Voyager 1, a machine launched in 1977 with less computing power than your microwave. As of February 2025, it's officially 167.35 astronomical units away, so distant that radio signals, traveling at light speed, take over 22 hours to reach us. Recently, unusual patterns have reportedly emerged in Voyager's transmissions, patterns that some specialists claim contain structured mathematical sequences embedded within what appears to be normal telemetry data. These alleged patterns include prime number sequences, variations of universal constants, and what some describe as a three-dimensional spiral structure hidden within the signal's architecture. Analysis using Microsoft's newly announced Majorana 1 quantum processor, with its revolutionary topological core architecture unveiled just last month, has supposedly revealed these structures in ways traditional computing couldn't detect. The patterns allegedly contain mathematical relationships so precise that some experts question whether they could occur naturally. While mainstream sources remain silent, specialized communities are buzzing with theories. If these reports have any validity, the implications would be extraordinary. What does it mean when a 48-year-old probe, sailing through interstellar space, suddenly transmits data with mathematical precision that exceeds its original programming? The minds naturally drawn to questions that others dismiss are already subscribing to this channel. They recognize that extraordinary possibilities deserve serious consideration, regardless of official narratives. Your presence here suggests you're already thinking beyond conventional explanations. Subscribe to join others who understand that significant discoveries often begin at the margins of accepted knowledge. To understand the significance of these alleged signal anomalies, we need to understand Voyager 1 itself. Launched on September 5, 1977, Voyager 1 is humanity's most distant spacecraft. Originally designed for a 5-year mission to study Jupiter and Saturn, it has far exceeded expectations, continuing to operate more than 48 years after launch. As of February 2025, Voyager 1 is approximately 167.34 astronomical units, that's 15.6 billion miles from Earth, and has been in interstellar space since crossing the heliopause in August 2012. The first human-made object to leave our solar system's protective bubble, Voyager communicates via NASA's Deep Space Network, transmitting on frequencies of 2.3 gigahertz or 8.4 gigahertz with a power output of just 23 watts, about as strong as a refrigerator light bulb. By the time these signals reach Earth, they're so faint that they have less energy than a single bacterium uses to swim. The spacecraft runs on a computer with just 68 kilobytes of memory, programmed in assembly code. Its power comes from a radioisotope thermoelectric generator using plutonium-238, which continues to provide enough electricity to operate at least one science instrument until sometime in the 2030 years. Voyager 1 has faced several communication challenges in recent years. In May 2022, it began transmitting corrupted telemetry data when its attitude articulation and control system started routing information through a non-operational computer. Engineers resolved this by August 2022. More recently, in November 2023, Voyager 1 experienced another issue with its flight data system memory becoming corrupted, preventing normal data transmission. NASA engineers diagnosed and fixed this problem by April 2024, and the probe resumed normal science operations. It's against this backdrop of technical challenges that the current situation must be considered. Critics suggest the alleged patterns are simply another technical anomaly, pointing to Voyager's history of sending corrupted data that later proved to have mundane explanations. Proponents counter that this time is different, that the mathematical precision reportedly found in recent transmissions defies conventional technical explanations. Central to these claims is the role of quantum computing in analyzing Voyager's signals. Microsoft's Majorana 1, named after Italian theoretical physicist Majorana, announced on February 19, 2025, is the world's first quantum processor powered by a topological core architecture. This breakthrough uses topological qubits, topocubits, to create stable, scalable quantum computing, with the current version utilizing 8 qubits and the theoretical potential to scale to 1,000,000. According to sources in the quantum computing community, traditional signal analysis wouldn't detect the patterns allegedly found in Voyager's transmissions. Quantum computing's ability to process multiple probability states simultaneously could theoretically reveal hidden structures invisible to conventional methods. The timing is noteworthy. Voyager's alleged signal anomalies emerged shortly after Microsoft's announcement of the Majorana 1. This convergence has led some to question whether the patterns were always present in Voyager's signals, but only became detectable with quantum computing advancements. According to specialists who claim to have analyzed the data, Voyager's recent transmissions contain several anomalous features that defy conventional explanation. 1. Mathematical constants. These reportedly include the first 10 prime numbers, 2, 3, 5, 7, 11, 13, 17, 19, 23, 29, appearing in sequence within what should be random signal variations. Even more puzzling are the alleged appearances of fundamental constants like Planck's constant and the fine structure constant, both reportedly appearing with tiny consistent alterations of approximately 0.0013%. 2. Three-dimensional structure. When processed through quantum algorithms, the signal allegedly reveals a spiral pattern with geometric properties, matching Fibonacci sequences and golden ratio relationships, patterns commonly found in nature, but which shouldn't appear in a degrading transmission from a failing spacecraft. 3. The number 127, a prime number that forms the foundation of digital networking and computing. 127.0001 represents the local loopback address, essentially home. This has led some analysts to suggest the signal contains embedded digital architecture beyond Voyager's original capabilities. According to those following these developments, verification remains a critical issue. Multiple independent analyses using different quantum platforms have allegedly produced similar results, finding the same mathematical structures embedded in Voyager's signal. Some sources claim that a 72-hour communications blackout was conducted, during which Earth sent no signals to Voyager. During this period, the patterns reportedly degraded, only to return stronger when communication resumed, behavior that wouldn't be expected from a random technical glitch. Critics maintain that without peer-reviewed publication and official confirmation, these claims remain speculative at best and fabricated at worst. NASA has not officially acknowledged any unusual patterns in Voyager's recent transmissions, maintaining that the probe continues normal operations following last year's technical fix. The people recognizing patterns that mainstream analysis dismisses are already mentally mapping the implications. Your mind has likely already begun constructing frameworks to understand what this could mean if verified. Don't lose this thread of insight. Subscribe to continue receiving analysis that conventional channels aren't equipped to provide. The cognitive separation between those who see these patterns and those who don't isn't accidental. It reflects fundamentally different approaches to emerging information. The 4 theories: what could explain Voyager 1's anomalous signals? The most conservative explanations suggest there's nothing actually unusual about Voyager's recent transmissions. According to this view, the alleged patterns are either misinterpretations of normal signal degradation or artifacts introduced by quantum analysis itself. Essentially, the quantum processor is finding patterns in random noise, a phenomenon known as apophenia, where the human mind perceives meaningful connections in meaningless data. Proponents of this theory point to Voyager's history of communication issues, all of which eventually received technical explanations. The May 2022 corrupted telemetry glitch and the 2023 to 2024 memory corruption both initially appeared mysterious, but were ultimately traced to aging hardware problems. NASA's public position aligns with this explanation, with official statements indicating Voyager 1 is functioning normally and continuing to return scientific data from all 4 of its operational instruments. No unusual signal patterns have been officially acknowledged. But what if the anomalies aren't just noise? Theory 2, interception and modification by an unknown intelligence. A more provocative theory suggests Voyager's transmission may have been intercepted and modified in deep space. According to this view, the probe's weak 23-watt signal could have been captured, altered to include mathematical patterns, and redirected toward Earth. The energy question is central to this theory. Critics note that Voyager's signal power hasn't increased, despite allegedly carrying more complex data, which violates basic physics unless something is boosting the signal remotely. Proponents counter that the quantum entanglement-like properties reportedly found in the transmission, reminiscent of recent quantum communications experiments with China's MISHA satellite, Majorana could theoretically allow information transfer without conventional energy requirements. If this theory has any validity, it would suggest an intelligent entity with advanced technology is using our own probe as a communication channel, perhaps marking a boundary or delivering a message as Voyager enters genuinely unexplored territory. Theory 3. A hidden function activated after 48 years. A third theory proposes that the patterns might originate from within Voyager itself, possibly from code that remained dormant until specific conditions were met. According to this view, when NASA uploaded the 2024 patch to bypass Voyager's degraded memory module, it may have activated previously unused capabilities. Critics emphasize the implausibility of this theory, given Voyager's documented specifications. Its 68 kilobytes of memory and simple assembly code shouldn't be capable of generating complex mathematical structures or self-modifying algorithms. But proponents counter that early space missions often contain classified capabilities beyond their publicly disclosed specifications. They suggest that the 1977 launch occurred during a period of intense Cold War competition, when spacecraft might have carried secondary missions unknown to the public. If this theory has merit, it would raise disturbing questions. Was Voyager always intended as more than a scientific mission? Could it have been designed to activate additional functions only after reaching interstellar space? Who would have programmed such a feature, and why? Theory 4. Voyager has stumbled upon an unknown cosmic phenomenon. A fourth theory suggests Voyager may have encountered something in interstellar space that affects its transmission in mathematically significant ways. According to this view, the probe isn't receiving a directed communication, but might be passing through a region with properties we don't yet understand. The interstellar medium contains gases, dust, cosmic rays, and magnetic fields, but it could also contain structures or properties that interact with artificial signals in ways that create mathematical patterns. Proponents note that Voyager 1 is exploring truly virgin territory, the first human-made object to travel through interstellar space, where conditions may differ from our expectations. If this theory has any validity, it would suggest not an intelligent message, but a natural phenomenon with mathematical properties we've yet to discover, potentially revealing new physics rather than new intelligence. How would the scientific community respond? If reports of structured signals from Voyager have any validity, how might the scientific community respond? The Search for Extraterrestrial Intelligence, SETI, has established protocols for signal verification, requiring multiple independent confirmations before any claims would be considered credible. Currently, SETI focuses on detecting technosignatures from advanced civilizations using radio telescopes and optical searches. Facilities like the Allen Telescope Array continuously scan the cosmos, though no confirmed signals have been detected and verified. Quantum computing represents a new frontier in signal analysis. Technologies like Microsoft's Majorana, one could theoretically process astronomical data in ways that reveal patterns invisible to classical computing methods, potentially revolutionizing how we search for signs of non-human intelligence. The scientific community would demand rigorous verification before accepting any extraordinary claims about Voyager's transmissions. Multiple independent analyses using different instruments and methods. Peer-reviewed publication and replication by other researchers. Official statements from NASA, ESA, or other space agencies. The immediate security implications beyond scientific interest. Reports of structured signals from interstellar space would raise immediate security questions. Government agencies would need to assess potential implications, especially if the signals contained what appeared to be coded information. Defense departments worldwide have established protocols for responding to potential extraterrestrial contact, protocols that would activate if Voyager's alleged signals were verified as non-human in origin. These include information control procedures, classified briefings, data sequestration, international notification, UN, allied governments, scientific bodies, coordinated response strategies, diplomatic, military, scientific. Intelligence agencies would focus on data security implications. If an unknown entity could manipulate Voyager's transmission, what other systems might be vulnerable? Could this be a test of human technological awareness? Is there a larger pattern in deep space signals we've missed? A comprehensive review of deep space communications protocols would likely follow any confirmation of signal tampering. The philosophical earthquake. Even without official confirmation, reports of mathematical patterns from the edge of interstellar space raise profound philosophical questions. How would human self-perception change if we confirmed we're not alone? Would religious doctrines evolve to accommodate new understanding? Would national borders seem less significant in the context of a wider cosmic community? Historically, humanity has defined itself through contrast with animals and machines. Encountering evidence of non-human intelligence, even indirectly through mathematical signals, would force a re-evaluation of what makes us unique and our place in the cosmos. The subscribers exploring these questions aren't merely curious. They're mentally preparing for possibilities that would fundamentally reshape human understanding. Your continued analysis of these developments places you among those positioned to comprehend paradigm shifts that would overwhelm conventional thinking. It was humanity's first serious attempt to introduce ourselves to the universe, a message in a bottle cast into a vast cosmic ocean. As Carl Sagan, who led the Golden Record Project, once said, "The spacecraft will be encountered and the record played only if there are advanced spacefaring civilizations in interstellar space. But the launching of this bottle into the cosmic ocean says something very hopeful about life on this planet." The ultimate fate of Voyager 1. Whether or not Voyager has received any response, its journey represents humanity's reach exceeding its grasp. It continues functioning decades beyond its expected lifetime, still sending data across billions of miles of emptiness. But its plutonium power source will eventually fade. Sometime in the 2030s, its signal will go silent, yet the spacecraft itself will continue its journey indefinitely, potentially outlasting Earth itself. In billions of years, when our sun has expanded into a red giant and possibly consumed our planet, Voyager 1 will still be traveling, carrying that record of who we were, our music, our voices, our languages drifting among the stars. It's a kind of immortality, not for individuals, but for the idea of humanity. What if the signal is real? The next steps. If the mathematical patterns in Voyager's transmissions are verified as artificial, the process of deciphering them would begin immediately. 1. Cryptographic analysis. Teams of mathematicians, physicists, and linguists would search for repeating sequences, embedded algorithms, or universal mathematical concepts, like prime numbers or geometric ratios, that could form a basis for communication. 2. Reply protocols. NASA and international space agencies would debate whether and how to respond. The METI, Messaging Extraterrestrial Intelligence, debate would reignite. Should we answer, or would that be dangerously naive? 3. New missions. A dedicated interstellar probe might be fast-tracked to investigate the region where Voyager's signals change. The Breakthrough Starshot Initiative, light sail nanocraft, could be repurposed to intercept and study the anomaly. What if it's just noise? The hidden victory. Even if the quantum-detected patterns turn out to be coincidence or error, this episode reveals something crucial. Our tools are advancing. The fact that a quantum computer could uncover potential structures in decades-old space data proves that new technologies might detect signals we've missed for centuries. The real alien message, if it exists, might be hiding in plain sight, waiting for the right decoding method. Why this story matters, even if it's never resolved. The most compelling aspect of this saga isn't just the possibility of contact, it's the questions it forces us to ask. Are we alone? How would we recognize an alien message if it didn't match our expectations? What does it mean that a machine built before the internet still speaks for us? Voyager 1 was never just a probe. It's a philosophical experiment, one that tests whether intelligence can bridge the cosmic dark. Final thought: the silent optimism of the Golden Record. The Golden Record wasn't designed for scientific utility. It was a gesture of hope, a way to say, we were here. That optimism, the act of reaching out without guarantee of reply, might be the most human thing about Voyager. Whether its signals now carry alien mathematics or just random noise, the probe has already succeeded in the most profound way possible. It made the universe feel a little smaller.